All right, here's a video today on subcutaneous fat versus visceral fat. And as you can see in the picture there, you can make it out, right? The subcutaneous fat is the fat right below your skin. That's where we get that prefix sub, like subway, right? It means below. And they're actually both below your skin, but right below your skin is the subcutaneous fat. So we'll just get our pen here. So this is like, you might notice it in the belly, right below the skin, subcutaneous fat. And the visceral fat is inside, protecting your organs. Now, you need both. So let's write that down. You need both. Just not too much, right? Too much is no good, right? So the subcutaneous fat, if we look at what it does, actually, it has a lot of functions, right? And by the way, the visceral fat, write this down, that's the most dangerous. So yeah, having a big belly is not too healthy, but visceral fat is the most dangerous. So we'll just put the most dangerous if you have too much. Now, of course, you need visceral fat too. So the subcutaneous fat is stored right below the skin, like I said, and if you pinch your belly, your arms, your thighs, that's the fat. So over here, let me just put we'll start with subcutaneous. Right below the skin. So, first of all, it gives us an energy reserve. If you run out of glycogen, you run out of glucose, then glycogen, you'll get that subcutaneous fat as an energy reserve. Very important. And it's insulation. So you'll have a hard time keeping your temperature without that subcutaneous fat, maintaining homeostasis. It also protects your muscles, so protects muscles and bones. And put the bones in. So that's subcutaneous fat. And of course, too much is not healthy. And if you want to know how much is not healthy, I'll go over that in a minute. But then again, you should check with your doctor with all this stuff. Now, the visceral fat, as you see it here, right over here, protecting your organs. It does protect your organs. So we should say we'll put visceral fat over here. Deep within, right? That they do protect your organs. So they do serve a role there. It's actually the easiest to lose, too. Visceral fat is actually the easiest to lose, even though it is the most dangerous. So why is it dangerous? It's in itself. Again, it's not dangerous in itself. It's dangerous if there's too much, and you should check with your doctor what is too much, right? So it could lead to health issues. It can lead to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and so forth. What it does is it does release certain hormones and inflammatory substances in the body if there's too much of it. And another thing about visceral fat is, the reason why you could lose it faster, it's more metabolically active. So when you exercise, when you have a healthy diet, your body tends to burn the visceral fat first. All right, so let me clear this out. Go to the chalkboard. If there's any in school left, some of them are not there. Now you got whiteboards and Promethean boards and smart boards. Someone did not erase this board, by the way, correctly. You have to clear the erasers, go outside and stamp. And anyway, that's old. Anyway, so if we look at the athletic range, let's make sure the pen's working here. Let's see, where's my pen? If we look at the athletic range, these are pro athletes. They could have in the total fat, visceral and body fat, total fat anywhere. And of course, this is depending on gender, also 6 to 13%. And women have more. Women, we'll say, in men. And women, they can have anywhere between 14 to 20. This is the athletic range. Right. Now, if you're looking at a fitness range, you could have anywhere with total fat content between 14% to 17% in men and more in women. Now, what they call the obese range, which you try to get rid of, and of course your doctor can talk to you about this. In men, it will be 25% or higher. That's when you really have to, start asking your doctor for help, right? And in the women, it's 32% or higher. So you can see that you really should not be going as an athlete below 6%. And of course, you shouldn't be going into the 25% range for men and 32% for women. All right, so again, just to review, we had the two fats, subcutaneous fat, which is the fat right below the skin, and the visceral fat inside protecting your organs. You don't want too much of any of those fats. And that's our video today.